Have you ever noticed that surviving something is not the same as being healed from it? Many believers can point to the mountain God brought them through, but far fewer can identify the emotional wounds they carried down the mountain. One of the central ideas in my book, The Mountain, the Mother, and the Wound, is that God is not only interested in bringing us through our test, He also desires to restore what those tests cost us. Psalm 147:3 declares, He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. Isaiah 61 reveals that the Messiah came to bind up the brokenhearted, not simply to rescue people from difficult circumstances. Throughout Scripture, we see that deliverance and healing are related, but they are not always the same event. Israel left Egypt in one night, but Egypt did not leave Israel overnight. Abraham descended Mount Moriah with Isaac alive, yet the biblical narrative continues with Sarah's death, family transitions, and lingering emotional consequences. The test ended, but the restoration journey continued. This pathway illustrates 5 biblical movements from survival toward wholeness. The first step is to name the cost. Healing begins with truth. We often celebrate our obedience without acknowledging what obedience required. We thank God for the miracle while refusing to admit the exhaustion, fear, disappointment, or loneliness we experienced along the way. Scripture never asks us to deny our pain. In fact, the Psalms are filled with honest prayers where God's people bring their grief before Him. Naming the cost is not complaining, it is telling the truth in God's presence. The second step is to grieve the loss. Grief is not a lack of faith. Jesus himself wept at the tomb of Lazarus, even though he knew resurrection was moments away. That tells us mourning has a place in the life of faith. Many people have never grieved the years they lost, the relationships that changed, the dreams that died, or the sense of safety that disappeared. What remains ungrieved often remains unhealed. God invites us to lament because lament creates room for restoration. The third step is to separate the test from the trauma. This distinction is an interpretive framework I explore throughout the mountain, the mother, and the wound. Genesis tells us that God tested Abraham, but Scripture does not portray God as delighting in emotional injury. Tests reveal faith. Trauma reflects the painful realities of living in a fallen world. When we confuse God with our wounds, we may struggle to trust the very one who came to heal us. God is the redeemer of brokenness, not the author of evil. The fourth step is to invite Jesus into the memory. Ask the Lord, where were you when I was on the altar? Not because he was absent, but because his presence often becomes clearer as we surrender our memories to him. Matthew 28 reminds us that Christ is with us always. Many believers discover fresh hope when they revisit painful memories in light of the truth of God's faithful presence. This spiritual practice can be deeply meaningful, while also recognizing that those with significant trauma may benefit from the guidance of a trauma-informed Christian counselor. Finally, do the work. Healing is often both miraculous and intentional. God works through prayer, scripture, wise counsel, supportive community, and sometimes professional counseling. Wholeness is not passive. It is the lifelong work of allowing God's truth to transform every place where pain once ruled. As you reflect on this pathway, ask yourself these questions. What did your mountain cost you that you've never acknowledged? What grief have you carried without giving yourself permission to mourn? Which step on this pathway is God inviting you to take today? The good news is that your story does not end with survival. The God who brought you through the mountain also desires to heal the wounds the journey left behind. His goal is not simply that you endure your past, but that you experience the freedom, restoration, and wholeness found in Jesus Christ. If today's teaching encouraged you, this is only one insight from my book, The Mountain, the Mother, and the Wound. Inside my teaching vault, you'll find the complete book, prophetic Bible studies, companion study guides, journals, discussion questions, presentation slides, and additional teaching resources designed for personal study, small groups, and ministry leaders. Visit payhip.com/Dr. Delisa Rodgers to explore the teaching vault. If this lesson blessed you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. Until next time, remember, God doesn't simply bring us through the mountain. He heals the wound, honors the story, and prepares us for the promise.